Hey, what's up? It's E. Smith here, former IBF junior middleweight champion of the world. Make sure you guys subscribe to the Sporting Icons. Cheers.
Now, I saw this video on Tyson Fury's official Instagram page yesterday, and I thought, you know what, that's actually quite funny. I wouldn't mind doing a video on it, but I thought, there isn't too much point because IFL, what they'll do is they'll take that footage, put it on their own channel, monetize it so they get paid for it, okay, which is what they always do with a lot of boxers. But with this one, they didn't do it. I have no idea why, but they didn't. So I can actually do a video on it and talk about it. Now, of course, I'll put a link to it in the description box. And no, you don't need Instagram to be able to watch it. So give it a click and you can watch it to see exactly what happened. And it's actually quite funny. And to be honest with you, I like that Tyson Fury sometimes goes behind the camera talking to, for all intents and purposes, a guest, right? He's done it with his dad. He's done it with Sugar Hill and others. And I think he's actually quite good at it, to be honest with you. Anyway, Sugar Hill. His new trainer, of course, trained him for the Deontay Wilder rematch, where Tyson Fury absolutely annihilated Deontay Wilder. Now, he's come over to the UK in like the last day or two to spend time with Tyson, obviously work on new things and what have you. Tyson Fury has a new gym, I believe it's in Morecambe. And Sugar Hill was saying how it reminds him of how Manny Stewart would set things up back in the 80s and the 90s. It's got that kind of feel to it. It's a beautiful looking gym. And he made a gesture towards this huge mural of Tyson Fury pretty much squashing Deontay Wilder's head like a grape, squish like grape. Now, they went walking over there and Sugar Hill, he's like, well, this is the punch that changed the world, or the right hand that changed the world, the pillow fist and everything like that. And Tyson was like, can you check the glove to make sure that there's nothing in it? And Sugar Hill, he's touching this picture where Tyson Fury's glove is. He's like, well, according to the autopsy, of course, he's making reference to Deontay Wilder's brother, Marcellus, who said that Deontay Wilder had an autopsy and the doctor told him that there must have been a metal object in Tyson Fury's glove. Anyway, he says that according to the autopsy, there should be a metal glove or a metal object inside the glove. I'm not seeing anything there. And they're laughing about it. So it's actually quite a funny, jovial video. Now, this just goes to show the stupidity of what Team, and I'll use that word loosely, of course, Team Wilder have been coming out with, making excuses for the losses. Now, of course, Wilder, he hasn't said too much. In fact, he's still been in hiding several months later, even though he's quite prolific on Instagram. In fact, the only kind of things he's come out and said is that he felt like a zombie going into that fight. No surprising when your brother says that he had an autopsy, and plus for the fact that he was doing this twerking video. That's pretty much the extent of what Wilder's doing. But of course, he's probably speaking to some of the other YouTube uploaders and telling them to put this kind of stuff up, I suspect. Now, because some of the excuses that these guys are coming out with is ridiculous. It's borderline insanity. Some of the things that they're coming out with. And Fury and Sugar Hill, he's got jokes. He's actually got a pretty good sense of humour, which is good to see. But they're making fun of the situation. Now, what this tells me is that as and when this third fight happens, Fury is going to annihilate Deontay Wilder in the press conference. So if Wilder has got these other people to come out with all these kind of excuses and conspiracies, well, that's a very, very stupid move for Deontay Wilder. If Wilder has nothing to do with it and these YouTubers have done it off their own back, then you've just set up Deontay Wilder to have the biggest verbal bashing that he's probably ever had in his life. We all know how Tyson Fury, he can belittle Deontay Wilder very, very easy. So I would fully expect that Tyson Fury is going to do exactly that. I mean, let's be honest, that rematch was a one-sided beatdown to the point where the towel had to be thrown in. All this is going to be used in Tyson Fury's favour. So all the excuses, what you've done is, not only have you given Tyson Fury ammunition to throw at him and get inside the head of Deontay Wilder. As we know, Wilder, he's not exactly strong-willed mentally. He can break and crack, especially when it comes to Tyson Fury, okay? But what you've done is, you've now motivated Tyson Fury to do another job on Deontay Wilder. Because with Tyson Fury, when he gets beaten is when he overlooks his opponent. When he's not really motivated. Because he's already been in there with Deontay Wilder twice already. Does he really need to go in there for a third time? And I'm sure that's probably part of him going, really? Do I really have to do this again? This guy's too much easy work. He's too easy. outside of a puncher's chance, there's nothing in the world that he can do to me. Now you guys have actually given Tyson Fury this motivation. Good luck with that. Anyway, as I said, link in the description box to Tyson Fury's video on his official Instagram page. As I said, you don't have to be a member of Instagram or anything to watch it. You can just give it a click and watch it for yourselves anyway. It's pretty good. Drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.